The saddest loss in Houston sports this year for anybody that's lived in this city over the last 40-plus years was probably Bob Allen. I was fortunate enough to have a couple of conversations with him over the last few years, but didn't know him anywhere near as much as some of my friends in Houston media. One of those who knew Bob was KPRC Channel 2 sports director Randy McIlvoy. Randy told us about interning with Allen at Channel 13 when Randy just started in the business.
He was a guy that I grew up watching, so it was that awe factor when I first got there, like, man, I'm working for Bob Allen. This is pretty cool. But you know what? He's just a normal guy, funny guy, always had stories to tell, and really took me under his wing. I mean, when the times I was in there, he would always talk about my goals and what I was wanting to accomplish. He gave me good advice and, just taught me the ropes, I think, about the business. So, I mean, I learned a lot from a lot of people, but he was certainly one that was an influence on me early in my career, and that's almost about 30 years ago.
What you see was really what you got with him, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. He shot you straight. People that don't know him really probably don't know how funny he was. I mean, he was a funny guy. Always had funny stories to tell, because he'd seen just about everything at that point. And he continued to do it for many more years as well. But great communicator, loved the city of Houston. He's from here, played at, went to school at Westbury High School. I went to Bel Air, so we always talked a lot about that Bel Air and Westbury rivalry, and had a good time with that. So definitely what you see is what you got out of Bob.
Did you get a lot of reaction when you were out on stories with Bob? Do you remember going out with him much, and the people's reaction to a guy that had been around for as long as he had, and how he kind of connected with the community?
Oh yeah, I mean, he was kind of a magnet for viewers out there. This is not only was Bob good at what he did, he was pretty much a legend in this town, and was till now. I still consider him a legend. He's passed away now, but he's the best this city's ever had. Everywhere you went, I oftentimes went to what I remember a lot. I think I'd go to the Astrodome a lot with him. Maybe it's for an Astros. Maybe he's doing his live shot out there. I would go with him and help with interviews and stuff, and I'd be around him on that part. Occasionally at an Oilers event, maybe practice or something like that, the Rockets maybe. But when he went around, people knew Bob Allen. I mean, Channel 13 for many years back then was a powerhouse TV station. And last probably 10, 15 years, it changed a little bit for sure. But then in the 70s and 80s and part of the 90s, I mean, Channel 13 was a powerhouse station, and the whole team was well known, and Bob was certainly one of those.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.